All right, let me adjust. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello, 1, 2. Oh, great. Good night. Thanks for joining, Cecile. Good night, Pamela. Thanks for joining as well. Good night, SA. Thanks for joining as well. We're up to 3. Hopefully, we'll get to 5. Thanks. I'm glad you can hear. Seems like when I put the microphone on my shirt, it muffles it. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about the Caribbean foods the foods we eat here, right here in the Caribbean, and their effects on our overall health. Now, here's the thing: our food tastes good, so we eat a lot of things that we think should be okay with when it comes to our overall health. But to be quite honest, a lot of the things we eat aren't really healthy. If you go to any cook shop, this is getting hot. If you go to any cook shop, if you go to any restaurant, whether it be downtown, halfway through at lunchtime, they all serve similar foods. So lunch would be rice, chicken. Hi Pamela, I'm fine. How about you? So lunch will be in the form of rice, whether it be rice and peas or Spanish rice or pumpkin rice, and then they will offer you vegetables. And the next food, the chicken will be done either fried, barbie fried, or curried. And yes, that's true. They may offer you beans as well. The thing is, what we eat on a daily basis for our lunch, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't that good for you. Fried chicken, as you know, is not good for you. It's fried in vegetable oil. Vegetable oil can send up your cholesterol. It can send up your triglycerides, predispose you over a period of time to cardiac issues. Cardiac issues would be things like myocardial infarction or heart attacks. So eating these things over a long period of time will not help. Also, ingesting rice daily, especially the quantities that are given in these meals, large quantities of rice. We're talking 2, 3 spoonfuls of spoonfuls of rice can actually cause you to put on a lot of weight. Now, if you're a person who is overweight, you need to try to cut back on the carbohydrates that you are eating. So carbohydrates would in that meal would be the rice. Other foods that would be sold for lunch and breakfast at these restaurants. Hi Shania, thanks for joining. Other foods that would be sold at these restaurants would be, for instance, in the morning, almond corn, which is probably one of the main things I eat for breakfast. For lunch would be, sorry, or you're overweight, Pamela? Sorry, I don't know. Let me close this. Right, so lunch would be one of the things that I don't know what black rice is, Shania. What's black rice? So one of the things that I find, like for breakfast, you will eat yam, sweet potatoes. They will give you stew chicken, ackee and saltfish, pumpkin, green bananas. That's the breakfast, and you might have almond cornmeal porridge, peanut porridge, or the other one, plantain porridge. Now, of all of the foods I just mentioned, the ones that are pretty okay, yam, sweet potato, green banana. That's like 55 calories for each of those, for a piece of each of those that I just mentioned, which is not much if you think about it. And that's 55 calories of complex carbohydrates, which is not that bad. However, if you go to things like cornmeal porridge, almond corn, peanut porridge, and plantain porridge, it's packed with calories because you have to add sugar. When you have to add sugar, condensed milk, and all sorts of sweeteners. Some people even add Lasco to help sweeten these foods. So those foods can actually pack on weight. So if you're going to a place to buy breakfast, buy the stew chicken and the yam, sweet potato, green banana. Those are the things that you should eat if you're going to eat those for breakfast. Now, the porridge, if you're on a weight loss regime, the porridge is not going to help your cause. It really won't. It's packed with carbohydrates, simple sugars. Simple sugars when you're trying to lose weight, not a good idea. Now, I've bought some examples here of foods that are both good and bad. So the first one I'm going to show you is something that's really bad. Tigers. This is a locally produced food. Yep. Our community, we have a lot of obese people, SA. That's true. Now, Tigers is a cheddar cheese snack. What makes this not really the best choice for foods? It's packed with vegetable oil. It also has shortening as well. Oh, all right. Nice to meet you, Sarah. It has shortening in it, and it also has MSG. But it also has yellow food coloring. Yellow food coloring is being researched, and there's evidence to show that the yellow food coloring in kids can contribute to hyperactive behavior. So lots of kids eat this for breakfast in the morning. Lots of kids eat this for lunch. Lots of kids eat this for dinner. Lots of kids eat this throughout the day. Lots of adults eat this same food, and it's not good for you. So Tigers, not sponsored by them. So I'm not sponsored by anybody. So I'm just saying it's not a good food to eat at all. And we eat a lot of these. Other foods that you really should err on the side of caution. Not a Caribbean food, but Doritos. My kids like this. Been trying to get them to come off of it, but they like this. Again, it's packed with cheddar cheese, vegetable oil. Sodium in this alone is 13% of your daily requirement in just one pack. It has no real nutrients, no fiber, no nothing. It's just not good for you. Something that is good for you. I eat this. It's a locally produced product. Oh, I've never heard of black rice. I have to research it. This is another product, but this is a product that's actually pretty good. This is peanut oats and oats porridge mixed up. It's made by a company called Natural Life here in Jamaica. It's packed with protein, 17 grams of protein. It also has in 2 grams of sugar. For this is one serving, this whole pack, and it has in 480 calories, but these are slow digesting calories. So in this one pack, there is oats, peanuts, and they add ascorbic acid, which is antioxidants. So I eat this. I blend this with my shakes in the morning. It's a pretty good product. There's iron. 20% of your daily requirement of iron is in this one pack. So it's something that you could try if you like it. Has a lot of carbohydrates. So if you want to consume it just before you work out, I would advise this. Here's another porridge that I eat. I would not say this is the best porridge because it's a wheat porridge, and I find that you feel hungry pretty soon after eating it. So I wouldn't say it's a bad product. I just say small amounts can't hurt. And a lot of people use sweeteners like condensed milk, Lasco when they're using these kinds of products. So err on the side of caution when using these porridges. So this is a porridge that I eat. It's once again a locally made porridge or a locally made product, I think. Yeah, made by Jamaica Flour Mills. It's high in potassium, high in dietary fiber, has a little bit of protein, but we're looking for complex carbohydrates. I think it's a pretty good option. Don't sweeten it with condensed milk, Lasco, and the usual. You can add stevia. There's also Splenda, honey. Those are the options. I add sugar, but I add sugar because I know I'm going to work out. But if I'm not going to work out, I have to find a substitute to add. This is a product also packaged. It's not made here in Jamaica, but it's packaged right here in Jamaica by Grace Foods. It's a good product. It's oats. Simple oats. It's packed with fiber, carbohydrates that are healthy, complex carbohydrates. If you're a person who's constipated, you're a person who, as I said, finds it difficult to go to the bathroom, this product, and I choose Grace Oats for the simple reason it's just a product that I can actually trust. It's a product that I can actually trust in terms of its quality. Uh, Again, err on the side of caution with what you use to sweeten your porridges, but good product. Full of carbohydrates that are healthy and slow digesting, complex carbohydrates, full of fiber. It has in nutrients as well too. It has in vitamin, well, it has in calcium and iron. Those two. So it's fortified as well. So good option. If you need a snack, this is made by Purity. Whole wheat buns. Doesn't have much sugar in it. This has in 7 grams of added sugar, 5 grams of protein, 36 grams of total carbohydrates, which is 12% of your daily requirement. So, in terms of consuming this, if you're diabetic, my advice, half can't hurt, especially if you're about to work out. So, you can use half as food to power through your workout. It's whole wheat, has in raisins, shouldn't spike your sugar, so it should be okay. So, this product right here. And I brought some vitamins to show you. But we'll talk about those a little bit later. Other foods that you should be careful with when you're consuming them. Chinese food. One of my favorite foods to eat, but Chinese food has in a lot of oil. They use a lot of soybean oil. They use a lot of MSG. They use a lot of sodium to flavor their foods. So you have to err on the side of caution when you are using Chinese food. And if you're hypertensive, I would not advise you to eat these foods every single day. It's not the best choice when it comes to foods that you would want to eat. It's very reasonably priced. So if you're hungry, most people will not have a problem going to purchase Chinese food. But again, it's not the best food to eat. Full of sodium, full of MSG. It will raise your blood pressure. And also they add the soy sauce, which is also full of sodium. They season with a lot of MSG, so your pressure is going to rise. So if you're hypertensive, or on the side of caution if you are going to consume Chinese food. And when it comes to the sweet pork, sweet and sour chicken, sweet and sour everything, sweet and sour beef, they add sugar to that as well too. So you have to err on the side of caution if you're diabetic, because it's going to spike your sugar as well. Pasta. Pasta. I use pasta just before a workout. Again, I'm seeing a question from Shanoya. Okay, let me see. Okay, so Shanoya says, "Thank you. I have PCOS and I wish I could eat most of what you are showing. Don't know why my weight is like this because I don't even use sugar." Shanoya, do you lift weights or do you exercise? Specifically, lift weights. You have to lift weights. Resistance training is your friend. I have to Google this black rice thing. Do you lift weights, Shania? If you have PCOS, your best bet, you have to lift weights. Lift weights, you have to exercise every single, 5 days for the week, 30 minutes, resistance training, as well as cardiovascular training. Because if you don't put in the effort with resistance training, which is something that women tend to avoid, what will happen is that you will just be exercising and not building muscle mass. Building muscle mass should be your number one priority, not only just improving your cardiovascular reserves. So running is fine, but you have to lift weights. You cannot avoid it. If you keep avoiding weightlifting, you're going to find fat burning to be much harder. No, you have to lift weights. So that means if you don't have access to weights, you might have to use dumbbells. You might have to use lots of your not dumbbells, your body weight. You can do calisthenics, which is body weight like push-ups, squats, pull-ups. You can use objects in your house to curl, like suitcases, bags, but you have to lift weights. You cannot avoid it. want to share. Sorry, was sharing the Facebook group. Flat bands is fine. Um, what I find is that after a while, because the bands are used so much, they become lax. And when they become lax, they don't really give you as much resistance as you need. So I find the best thing is just using your body weight. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with body weight. No. For yeah, so weights are your friends. You have to use weights. And when if we're gonna do cardio as well too, you said 40 minutes. Oh, you said 5 times a week for 40 minutes. You can adjust your if you're using cycles, like for instance, stationary bikes, you can adjust the resistance that the pedals offer you as well, which would it gives you a great burn on your legs. So that's another option that you can use as well too. In terms of the options for PCOS, PCOS is very difficult to treat, but there's hope. If you can find out what foods trigger your weight gain, you're gone clear. I know people who have lost, I have clients who have lost weight with PCOS once they remain consistent. Vegan diets and vegetarian diets can be helpful. However, they're hard to maintain, especially if you're a meat lover like myself. But I've seen people have success with vegan or vegetarian diets. So you can try that as well too. In terms of PCOS, how much do you weigh? How much weight do you want to lose? What's your height? Basmati rice is okay, you know. Again, rice in moderation is fine. The issue with rice is when people decide that they want to eat rice every single day, large quantities of rice, no exercise, they're stationary, sedentary, eat rice just before they go to sleep, and then eat rice for lunch, and it is just not going to give you a good effect. That's where knowing how to eat, when to eat certain things is important. Now, your largest set of carbohydrates should be prior to your workout. So if you're a person who works out, well, some people work out on an empty stomach, but if you're a person who works out in the midday period, eat your lunch before, like an hour before your workout. That's to fuel your workout. You need to eat a lot of carbohydrates. Now, if you're a person who works out in the evening, eat a large meal about an hour and a half before your workout in the evening, and then eat a light dinner afterwards. So it's all about when you put your foods. And I say all of that to say, if you're a person who likes basmati rice, why not eat it before your workout to fuel your workout, as opposed to just eating it and sitting down and being sedentary? And that's what happens with rice, and that's why rice gets a bad rap. But if you look in the fitness industry, a lot of people, that's all they eat. They eat rice, chicken, and broccoli, rice, chicken, asparagus, and that's well, different quantities, obviously, but that's what they eat to get ripped for shows. So it's not just the fact that you eat rice, it's also when you eat it and the quantity that you eat as well. Are there any questions? Okay, so let's go move on to some of the other foods that are good. In the Caribbean, we have a lot of access to a lot of different fruits. Fruits that you should be eating: pomerac or Jamaican apple. Star apple is fine, one a day. Mangoes, you have to err on the side of caution. I've said this a million times. Thinking that you can eat as many mangoes as you want because it's a fruit, mangoes can put weight on you. Believe it or not, it's full of sucrose, it's full of sugar, natural sugar. It still has the ability to put a lot of weight on you. So my advice, err on the side of caution with when you're eating mangoes. There are people I know who can eat 10 mangoes one time. I don't know how they do it. Do not do that. One mango, if you're obese, half of a mango is fine. Any special foods after finishing meal plans? Any special foods after finishing meal plan? I don't understand what you mean. If any special foods after finishing the meal plan. In terms of special foods, there's no special food per se. There are herbs that you can use, but even then, there's no guarantee that the special foods themselves, not special foods, the herbs themselves will always work. There's some people that report DHEA helps, evening primrose helps, zinc, magnesium, vitamin B6, which helps with the hormone balance too. Chromium picolate also, some people say it helps, but it all comes down to your diet. It all comes back down to what you eat, how you exercise. I have many clients right now who are going through menopause and they're losing weight. They're not losing weight rapidly, but they are noticing changes in their physique with their workout and their diet. It all comes down to consistency. So there's people are looking for special foods. It's not just a one food that will lower or help you with your menopause or lower your sugar or lower your pressure. It's a cumulative effect. You have to have everything involved: a proper diet, an exercise plan, discipline. Those are the things that you have to have in place for you to be in a position to lose weight. If you need help losing weight, you need to be in a plan. So you can WhatsApp message me at 876-339-3487, especially if you're in Jamaica. I've actually been having issues with my WePay account, which is used to for people who are living abroad to pay. However, I don't believe in water fast. No, that is not something that I would advise. Water fast, no. It's just that's a scam. And it might sound okay, but it's actually pretty dangerous too. We're talking drinking copious amounts of water, which can offset the electrolytes in your body. People do it and they're fine, but you may be the person that goes and does it and no. And any kind of fasting is not sustainable. If you do it for 2 months, I can guarantee that there are a lot of people who do fast, and then when they're finished their fasting, they gain back a lot of weight. I know people who fast right now and they're still obese. Legit. Like that's water fast and all these. All you need to be in is a calorie deficit. So if your calories come to your maintenance calories, meaning the calories required for you to go to make it through the day and maintain your weight, if your calories come to 2,000 calories for the day, normally you need to be at 1,700 or 1,500 calories. If you come to 1,700 calories per day and you continue that for 6 months, I guarantee you will see a change in your physique. Especially if those 1,700 calories are smooth and complex carbohydrates and your diet is extremely clean as it were, you're going to see a change in your physique. Don't buy into these designer diets, as I call them, juice fasts and water fasts, and don't trust them. Some of these things are dangerous. Same thing that you think about with the same thing that people experience with the teas. There are times when I ask people, intermittent fasting can work. It can work, but here's the thing. Okay, so the number is 876-339-3487. What do you think about protein powder? I just bought a pea protein. I use it on the plan? Pea protein is fine. But my issue is this: the body does not really absorb a lot of plant matter absorb plant matter as you would think. So my issue with protein sources from plants is how much do you really get from the protein when they say 24 grams of protein is in this powder? It shouldn't do you anything. It should be fine. Once the carbohydrate level is low, you should be fine. In terms of I saw another question that I missed just now. Intermittent fasting, that's what we're talking about. Intermittent fasting should be done properly. So here's a mistake that people make with intermittent fasting. So for instance, if they say that they're going to only eat between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., people eat all 5,000 calories. That's incorrect. If between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., you're still supposed to be in a calorie deficit. So if your maintenance calories is 2,000 for the day, you still have to be at 1,700 calories. Intermittent fasting can work, but it has to be done properly. As for the question that was just asked with regards to I was saying that intermittent fast for the number 876-339-3487. And for the, you said you're 221. So multiply that by 10, you get 2,210 calories for your maintenance. So you need to be at about 1,800 calories for the day. 210, yeah, call it 1,900 calories for the day. That should be fine for you. If you can get to 1,800 calories and then maybe every week take off 100 calories, you will see a difference in your body. Definitely will see a difference in your body. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to go on this crazy crash diets. Crash diets, no. I don't know if any of you ever watched like interviews with celebrities who do crash diets. And have you ever noticed that the crash diet only works for the time in which they are working? After that, they then go back to their regular eating because the crash diet is not sustainable. And then what happens is that they get back a physique that's probably worse than when they went on the crash diet. That's what crash diets can do. Gradual, controlled weight loss is the goal. A small calorie deficit of about 300 to 500 calories can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. Some of the foods that we can try right here in the Caribbean that we should focus on in the Caribbean, soursop. Soursop is a good pre-workout full of carbohydrates. Banana is a very good pre-workout full of carbohydrates. You should eat that just before your workout if you want to have it in a shake just before your workout. If you're diabetic, foods that you should eat before a workout should be fruits. You should not be taking any pre-workouts. You should not be taking any supplements that have sugar or caffeine, especially. If you're hypertensive, you should be staying away from caffeine because caffeine in itself can cause a transient rise in your blood pressure. So you don't want to be hypertensive and taking any caffeinated beverage or pre-workouts at all. I actually know people, or clients, and patients who came, spoke to me, found out that their consumption of caffeine is what actually rose or caused their blood pressure to rise extremely high. And this is what caused them to have elevated blood pressure. So they were being placed on blood pressure medication. Blood pressure was extremely high because they were drinking Coca-Cola, coffee, boom, and Red Bull daily. And when you took them off for all of that, their pressure was slightly elevated and could be managed with lifestyle modification. So you have to watch what caffeinated beverages you consume daily. That has to be one of your number one goals. I saw a question from Ryan. A banana is fine. A banana's 1 to 2 bananas. I actually had 3 bananas today just before I worked out. And it all depends on your stomach too, because some people, when they eat a banana, they have to go to the bathroom. Me, I don't have any issues. So I can consume 2 or 3 bananas before a workout and I get a great workout. Great. Absolutely great workout. I have to do more research, Cecile, on these pea proteins and these plant proteins. I know there are a lot of them available. I actually saw some of them in the supermarket there in Constant Spring today. And I was just like wondering how much of that is actually absorbed. But vegans love it. There are vegans who have great physiques as a result of using them. So can't go wrong, I guess. Any questions? I actually did not expect it to get to 7 people. I was here saying that it would have been 2 or 3 people. So this has actually exceeded expectations. 7 people is a lot considering. So I'm thankful. So here's the thing. You said 500? What do you mean 500? You're 500 what? Hi Ryan. I actually just got asked that. I don't have any issues with intermittent fasting. It's just that it has to be done correctly. If you are a person who, okay, you're diabetic and your sugar is, how much is your sugar? I have no issue with intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is okay if you do it correctly. A vegan diet, let me just start by saying there's no substitute specifically for fish and chicken for vegans. They do, however, use chicken and fish substitutes, which are usually made from other plant materials such as mushrooms, and I think they use tofu and soy. But it will not have the same nutrients as fish and chicken. It will not have the same protein content as fish and chicken. There's no plant matter that I know of that has more protein than fish and chicken, nor will it be absorbed as readily as fish, chicken, beef, all of the other different kinds of meats. As for intermittent fasting, as I was saying before, it has to be done correctly. If you don't do it correctly, you're still going to note that, well, you're still going to have a physique that you don't like. A physique that you should be aiming for is a waist as a male under 40 inches. So a waist of 38, 35, 32. As a male, you're going clear. As a woman under 35 inches, you're going clear. If you are over any of those in terms of your waist size, you are at increased risk of developing diabetes, hypertension, and also dying suddenly. It sounds cold, but it's facts. Keeping your waist in check puts your risk of certain cancers at a lower tier. So just keep that in mind every single time you hear me saying lose weight, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. It's important. Intermittent fasting, some people can do it. Some vegetables, not vegetables. I'm gonna talk the intermittent fastings. One of the things that you should do if you're doing intermittent fasting, that has to come down, Shereel. That has to come down. You need to lose 7 and 5 is 11. 7 and 5 is 12. 12 inches. It really isn't, Ryan. That is true. Soy isn't good for you, but vegans and vegetarians eat a lot of it. 500 calories is a crash diet, Pamela. You're not going to stick to that. You're not going to stick to that. 500 calories is too little. If you do 500 calories, you're going to be you're going to drop weight dangerously quickly, and you could very well find yourself feeling very unwell while losing weight. And if you're doing 500 calories and exercising, how are you going to fuel your day-to-day activities? I don't think that's a good idea. The lowest calories I have in my meal plans, it goes in week 4 to 700 and something calories. But I give a bonus plan in my meal plans just in case the 700 plus calories is too much. 167 is a little, that's high, yes. 121 is okay, so that's high. You can bring it down. 47 though. We have to work on that. We have to bring that waist down. Down, 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 down. And it can come down with the right plans, with the right help, it can come down. I have clients who started my plans and they started with a waist above 35. Now they're at 32. 32. So they dropped 3 whole inches in just over 6 months, which is impressive. Very impressive. And there's some clients who report that their clothes, people keep asking them, like, yo, you're losing weight. You're losing weight. It's really impressive. And that's just it. They're not losing pounds, but they're losing weight. They're losing inches on their waist, which is another measure of success that people can use. So you can use that. You're on 4 medications. If you took the time, you can bring your sugar down, you can bring your weight down, and you can lessen the number of medications that you take. But it's all up to you. As I was saying, I'm having actually issues with WePay. So people who are abroad in terms of paying for the plans, I'm having issues with them. So I'm hoping that it's resolved pretty soon. Your waist is 34 or 36, trying to make it down to 32. What's the question? I'm sorry, this thing keeps going off. Where your plan would be of great help. My plan would work because It helps you with meal and with your meals. So dieting is very important, and it also helps you with exercises to help bring down your weight. Proper exercises, proper form is expected. You need to put in an effort to actually do the exercises that are on the plan. It will work. It works. It works. I stand by my products, my weight, my workout plans. 16 hours, 2 times for the week fasting. If you stick to the basics, you'll notice a change. So if you're doing fasting and you're seeing some effects, you can do that as well. Any more questions? You can start at 1800 and every week take out 100 calories and you will notice a difference. Start at 18, the week after 17, and etc. etc. But don't jump straight and do 500 calories. You are not going to stick to that 500 calories. I wouldn't even stick to 500 calories, and I think I'm pretty like focused on keeping my weight down. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense. If you cook on a Sunday, you can actually cook everything on Sunday. Cook all of your complex carbs one time. Cook all of your protein one time. People do this all the time. People meal prep from Sunday. When I was in university in Trinidad, there was a guy there who cooked all of his chicken for the week, all of his rice for the week, all of his meals for the week, so he would not have to cook throughout the week because he hated to cook. So it's not that unusual for people to cook one time and yeah, and manage throughout the week. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying, Ryan. Okay, no problem, Pamela. Any other questions? Wow, I made it to 7. I still can't believe that. That's really impressive. Any other questions? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. Please continue to follow this page, this YouTube page, because I'm going to be doing all of my lives on this page. Hoping to do one tomorrow if I have the time. Thank you for following. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you have any questions, if you want to purchase a meal plan, just WhatsApp message me. If you want to do Zoom training on all the different plans I have available, you can. No, I don't do any sale of any nutritional products because if I'm selling anything, I have to be 100% confident that it will do what it says. I don't offer any teas, which are scams. I don't offer any powder that's going to help you to lose 100 pounds. I stick to the basics: meal, workouts. That's it. There's no miracle drug. No, there's Orlistat, but even then, you can lose weight without it. Okay? So, night, night, guys. Thanks for joining. Oh, I see a question. Can we eat a handful of nuts sometimes? Which ones are the best? Hi, Janet. Thanks for joining. Yeah, man. I'm hoping that it's back up. I'm going to check my email to see if the WePay accounts are back up. A handful of nuts, sure. Almonds, cashews, healthy oils are available in cashews, almonds, some peanuts, but peanuts without salt, peanuts that are not roasted, just raw, regular peanuts. Although some peanuts contain aflatoxin, so you have to know where you're getting your peanuts from. But you can't go wrong with almonds. Although I find almonds sort up the side of my tongue, so best thing you can do for with almonds is blend them or wash them before so that they're a little bit wet so they don't soar up the side of your tongues. And cashews are great. And the cashew fruit is also really great too. Hope this helps. Thanks for joining, guys.